Hi everyone, this is Sarita. I want to thank you for coming to my event. As you know, I want to talk about Reiki tonight, but before I do that, I want to let you know my background and where I come from and why I'm a Reiki master. Um, I've always been intrigued with energy, anything to do with energy. I've always been intrigued with it. And back in the late 80s, I came across a book, and it talked about Reiki and the energies, and it showed symbols and things like that that I had no idea was existed. So I started my search then. I didn't become a Reiki practitioner until much later in my career. So I studied it, and then I used to own a business, and it was a gym for women. And one of my clients who came to me was a Reiki master, and she started talking to me about Reiki, and I was listening, and then I realized that what she was talking about, I had already been investigating. And so she invited me for a session, and I said, sure, who doesn't want a session with Reiki when Reiki relaxes you and makes you feel better? And I wanted to see what this was all about. And so I had my first session with my Reiki master and realized right there and then that this is something that I wanted to do, and I wanted to give to other, particularly my family. And so I started the journey with Reiki, and that was that journey started in 2005 for me. And so I continued my steps in Reiki, first, second, and master, and then I started practicing it. And besides Reiki, I do a lot of other modalities that I will introduce to you as I give you the events. What's my background? Well, my background is that I was born into a family of metaphysical people. Basically, back then they called them mediums and psychics. And my mom would do a lot of energy work for people. They would come to her when they weren't feeling well, and she would do these things for them. So I basically grew up knowing that this does exist. And going back to Reiki as a science, Reiki is a science. It's not a religion. It's not anything that we think. It's a science. And so what we do is, with the attunements that we get from a master, it opens like a door for us to transmit the energy through us. And we transmit the energy through comes from the top, enters our heart, and then comes out into our hands. And that's where we place our hands on our clients. And that's where people sometimes say, well, your hands felt really tingly, hot, cold. And that's a form of the way the energy works on a person. From this, I have become a medical intuitive with the body, so touch memory. So when I touch a body, when I touch someone, I basically can pick up where there's blockages in the body, and I just go there and administer the energy so the person can relax and commence their healing. So for the next 2 nights, I will be explaining more. I did a little write-up on there to kind of give you an overall of what Reiki is and Reiki's not. I just love it. Reiki's been so good to me, and it's really helped me, and especially my family. And the darkest times, and we've had some, I have just turned to Reiki and just concentrated and meditated on it, and it's given me a lot. And so I want to give to other people, and I want other people to understand that this is a modality that's very safe. It's not intrusive. It doesn't interfere on anything that you're doing, any medications or anything, because Reiki does not diagnose. That means that the practitioners are not diagnosing anything. They can relate to you in the form of, oh yeah, there seems to be a blockage here or a blockage there. And a blockage to us is not a blockage to a doctor. Ours, we see a blockage as an energy block. So it's very different to when a doctor will say to you, well, you have a blockage in your stomach or a tumor. We don't do that. That's not what we do. So we can suggest, if we feel that the energy is too low, for you to go and see a doctor and talk to them about your issue that you came to see me with, which is the best thing that people can do when they're going through things. Now, when I meet with a person for the first time, they fill out an application, and right there I tell them I am not a doctor and I don't practice medicine. And they sign their consent, and then I'll ask them questions. Well, why did you come? What are your stresses? What are your needs? And they sort of let me know. Some people just say, I just want to try it out, and that's good. They just want to see what Reiki is, which is good. And then we go into the session. Now, my next video, which I'll post up tomorrow, I'm going to show you how I set up my bed, and how you lay there, and what I do with Reiki. And it's very comfortable and very relaxing. I love it, and people always give me great feedback after they've had a session. They'll tell me like they slept all night, or they were more energized, or they felt the pain was eased, not as bad. Like if someone in my family comes to me and says they have a headache, I'll place my hands on their head and administer Reiki that way, and it soothes the headache. It's the same kind of premises that when you were a child and you got hurt, and your mom would put her hands on your cut or wherever you were hurt, and that felt really good. Well, that was what I call mother energy. So that's coming in from the mother with all the love that she has for her child to ease the pain on her child. So this is the same premises with us, the practitioners. We're just a conduit to this energy so that you feel better during the energy session and afterwards. So I play soothing music. After the session, we'll talk about what the person experienced, if they feel like sharing. So I always tell them, if you want to share, just you can, and if you don't, that's okay too. But a lot of times they have experiences, they have things that they've never felt before, like they'll see colors, or they'll go back in a time and place where they were younger and something had happened, and so right there and then the energy of Reiki is healing that situation for them, making it less stressful for them. Reiki is now, they're acknowledging Reiki as a form of relaxation, a stress reduction, and so they're allowing it in the hospitals now, which is really, really great. And I know, personally, a lot of therapists who are attuned to Reiki, and when they have their clients, they do utilize that as part of their sessions. So very, very good. Very, very good. But anyways, that's it for right now. Go ahead and read what I wrote, and then tomorrow I'll show you what I do. All right? I hope you're having a great evening and enjoy every second of yourself. If you're healthy, boy, you are blessed. And if you're not, you'll get there again. So it's all here. How we get there and here. Love you. Bye.